Because I know for the fact that most any other players out there, they've already managed to go all the way up to the top of the actual highest spaces possible in Leaf Leap. But truth be told, guys, it's the fact that I have managed to try my best, kind of think about it. So, anyways, now let's move on to the halfway point in terms of Rainbow Dream, and it looks like Boo managed to got himself 10 bonus coins thanks to the forms of that coin block that he managed to come across into. So, kudos to Boo. And let's see what Wario's gonna get. He gets an 8. So, yeah, obviously today's day is of course the forms of the 13th of June today, in this case in 2021. As I said before, I was expecting if I was going to mention about the forms of more infos on, you know, this year's E3, but I'll probably should save that up and do it at some point until the next board. Or again, if Maxi were able to get back into Wario Land 2. So either way though, to be expected by that point. Ooh, so much for able to actually just to bet on, well, 50 coins, and in addition to my star as well. So either way though, but at least we're doing Sky Survivor though again. So either way though, we can expect we can able to be fully dominated for this whole entire minigame. Even though there are some minigames we are still missing on, but then again though, we'll come across into those at some form or another until eventually. So either way though, yeah, let's just go ahead and just get this started here. So yeah, not much else to talk about, and besides that, Wario got his... Oh, jeez, he actually got himself a pretty rough start as far as I can usually saw that coming, but again, it's on normal mode, so don't expect things to be all that challenging and all that stuff though, so even then though, yeah, there's not much else to say. And I didn't get hit once on this minigame. Kind of think about it, because even then though, that's usually Wario just keep on getting hit multiple times by that rate. But either way though, it knows what it is, so. Also, one thing I totally forgot to mention about this, ever since the Junior forms have been, well, in Toy Dream Board, basically every time when someone wins the minigame, that you do realize is the fact that this is the PAL version of the game. So this meaning about the fact that you know what the actual character's name on the, well, whenever we get into that, as soon as we get into the next minigame. So, nah, I'm not gonna use my Paratrooper capsule just yet though, but I got the 3. So in this case though, I might as well give myself another capsule from the likes of the capsule machine, and I get myself the Lakitu capsule. And what's this? It's Kamek. Basically, he'll try to shuffle around those capsules in particular, so... Nah, whatever. Just do whatever you wanted to. Oh, do I even get something from there? It could be a chain jump or somewhat, but either way though, we'll see what happens during at some point until... Well, let's just say until the next turn. So, meanwhile, Mario's gonna toss his Lakitu capsule almost right next to him, so I guess that's totally obvious. And he lands on the happening space. So in this case, he's gonna power up the generator and stuff like that, so... Okay, I should probably point things out as well, is the fact that, you notice with the actual Star Spirits, they are usually based off from Paper Mario, as I said this before, or Mario's Story in Japan. Well, usually, relatively speaking, is the fact that some of these, Star Spirits are actually based off from several chapters from the likes of the original Paper Mario game. Like, for instance, you already noticed about the fact that on Party Mode, usually Eld Star is the host in the forms of, you know, in Party Mode, that he was actually from the likes of, Chapter 1 in the original Paper Mario. And, as far as the forms of other Star Spirits that will show those off until later on, that, usually, relatively speaking, it's just the fact that, you notice with that particular, Star Spirit that we've already seen, she was actually one of the hosts in pretty much in the main menu, and sometimes in those little happening events, so... Okay, so we're going back into this minigame again, so we can expect we can able to do... What else? Some more ridiculously button mashing I have to deal with here, so, at least I'm cool with this for the most part, so... Yeah, anyway. And I'm surprised that for this point as well is the fact that obviously that we've almost at the halfway point in June already. So I can expect about the fact that why is these days managed to able to go by ridiculously fast all of a sudden. Which even then though, that might be seems the case, mind you. Especially noticeable about the fact that, well, usually relatively speaking as well, that we pretty much almost at the halfway point in terms of the whole year of 2021, and then we can move on to the forms of 2022. So we can expect we can able to actually be hype about 2022. Well, it might be a bit too early to able to actually just to be hyped about that year just yet though. So because of that though, not much else to tell for this point. So anyway, so it looks like Wario's gonna able to place the Paratrooper capsule just almost right next to the actual the rainbow pad to able to actually just to actually go some places. And it looks like we got ourselves another Bowser Spaces going on, and well, we're also able to come across into other events here and there as well. So we'll also see what happens there. And of course we got ourselves Bowser minigames. So, of course we've already played one already, which is of course Rain of Fire. So we can expect we can able to play, just Rain of Fire again. We still have not played either of those two minigames just yet though, which even then though, to be expected with most any other minigame roulettes every now and then. But usually relatively speaking that seems to be the case after all. So yeah, with the forms of that Another Star Spirit, or Star Guards, usually whatever you want to call it in this game, so even then though, one of those Star Spirits is actually by the forms of, well, I won't classify for saying if I recall correctly, it is, even though it's kind of hard to say for this point right now, just because I know it has been couple of days since I actually did manage to come back into this game, basically. Oh yeah, his name was, Cleaver, and he was actually, well, you know what that Star Spirit that managed to hold the book the whole way through? Because basically he was actually the host of, you know, the main menu, and also say replies by the forms of several other happening events. To be more specifically, you know, with the forms of the train station location in the Toy Dream, and also say applies by the forms of how it does it on, well, to be more specifically, everything. So, usually for any other, like, happening spaces events, well, some exceptions, mind you, which, you know what I mean. And of course, that particular Star Spirit is actually based off from, Chapter 6 in, Flowery Fields from the original Paper Mario. Now, as far as the rest of the Star Spirits are concerned, well, we'll talk more about that whenever we get onto their respective modes. So, in this case though, once we finish up with the forms of party modes, then we can show off some extra modes in particular, which I promised you guys about this, including story mode for as a sample, and, excuse me, Super Duel mode, and you probably noticed by this point. So, anyway, so I've pretty much got myself 3 stars so far. And it looks like that no one else actually got any coins, because obviously they've lost due to the forms of that Rain of Fire minigame, because of the forms of, you know, you need to watch for the actual drop shadows with those, you know, fireworks managed to able to come down from the skies above. So, yeah, that's something worth noting for the sake of time. And Mario got a 7, so in this case he'll probably, oh, he doesn't have enough coins, so if you don't have enough coins, like if you have like, you know, 0 to 4 coins, then you're probably not gonna progress. So that's something worth noting for the sake of, like, you know, coins is important for several events, for, you know, for the actual boards themselves. So yeah, you probably get the idea. So, alright, big top drop. I think, if I was expecting for this correctly, I'm pretty sure this is the minigame that we've already done. Yeah, this is the minigame that we've already played. So, again, I must admit though, I do apologize if my memorization with those minigames we've already played can be a bit rusty at times, especially noticeable because either way though, that I'm pretty much all said and done when it comes to the forms of able to actually just trying to do, well, I don't know how to explain this, mind you, but even then though still. Alright, so it looks like that I'm gonna have to do a balancing, tight- Oh! How did that hit me? That's unfair. Yeah, right there, that was on the PAL version, by the way. It says 1 on the bottom, and then the character's name on top. Whilst compared to the forms of the NTSC versions, mainly with, like, the Japanese version and the American version of the game, basically the character's names show up on the left, and then one word managed to able to show up on the right. So, and vice versa when it gets to a point until Mario Party 6 and Mario Party 7. Although, mind you, except Mario Party 8, just because it'll function the same way. Although, the only difference is between the forms of any other, well, regions in Mario Party 8 is the different fonts. So, what they managed to use, for the sake of, like, you know, text dialogue boxes, and also, you know, start, finish, or anything else like that. We'll show that off and during at some points whenever we get on to 2022, along with the forms of Mario Party 7, so... And now I'm able to actually just able to catch up onto the rest of the Mario Party series, basically. So even then though, expecting to believe about the fact that we could expect to be more, you know, hyped about everything. So even then though, as I said this before, I was going to briefly try to mention about the forms of E3 stuff for this year, but unfortunately though, due to the forms of time constraints or anything else like that, I don't know if I can able to mention about that anytime soon. So okay, so it looks like Mario got himself 10 coins from that coin block that he was pretty lucky about, and well, everything's all comes in together. So once again, 1 versus 3 again, and it looks like we are playing Squared Away. I think this is a new minigame that we actually playing through, so yeah, I think this is a new one. So 3 players each climb into a giant cube and try to squish the 4th player, who's trying to escape in a smaller cube. So basically, the team of 1 needs to run away from getting crushed, and while the other 3 is going to crush the single player. And this minigame does make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100, by the way, so... No, honestly, alright with it, but one thing I will say this right now, that I do prefer this version a bit more than the Top 100 version, just because, well, for one thing, is that every time whenever you replay the minigame Squared Away, that as you can tell, that we actually come across into this different patterns on these little tiles. Like, for instance, the actual shape it is right now is the Goomba. And every time whenever you replay the minigame over and over again, it does have some different visual variety when it comes to the forms of Squared Away. Like, eventually we're able to come across into ourselves, well, let's just say, Yoshi's Egg, and even a heart, even. So we can expect we can able to actually see some of these, different visual identities when it comes to the forms of this particular minigame itself. Although, unlike the forms of the Top 100 version, just somehow managed to felt a bit, well, underwhelming, which appears to be by the forms of the 8-bit Mario's head. Which I can assure to you it might be based off from Mario Bros. For something like that. Well, I haven't really played that much of the Top 100 for quite some years now. Well, it has been like 3 years since I actually last touched upon the game, because let's face it, the amount of content they've got from the Top 100 is rather lacking compared to the forms of how it does on the past Mario Party games, including Mario Party 10. Well, despite that, Mario Party 10 does feel a bit lacking in content in a console Mario Party game. But for the Top 100 though, it feels lacking in content on the handheld Mario Party game. But you probably know what I'm trying to talk about right there, but I mean, that's besides the point. Okay, so Mario's gonna able to land on the blue space. I was expecting if he was gonna get a 4, and then basically he would land on the happening space, but close enough. Alright, so once again, 4-player minigame again. So let's see what minigame are we playing this time. Later Skater. I think it's another one of those minigames that it'll definitely make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100 as well. Speed skate around the short track, whoever completes 5 laps first wins. So basically, you get able to hold the A button to go forward, by the way. You know, very similar to the forms of how it does it on the forms of Mario Kart and stuff like that. Although, the noticeable difference is now, rather than doing on the go-karts and stuff like that, instead we are skating around. And this also kind of reminds me of the short track events from the likes of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games duology games at the time. So, we still have no idea when the forms of the actual Beijing 2022 Winter Olympic Games will happen for Mario and Sonic, But we'll see what happens during time, so either way though. Now I said this before already, this minigame will make a comeback in Mario Party the Top 100, so yeah, that might be something worth noting about. So, of course the only thing you do need to avoid though is of course getting crushed into those walls, because you will slow down if you manage to able to collide to those walls. So yeah, something to keep that in mind. And also computer players will get in your way sometimes, which either way though, it doesn't bother me at all though when it comes to able to actually just manage to get myself cornered by those computer players. But either way though, it knows what it is for the most part, so... Alright, so we are on turn 15. Wow, I'm quite surprised that we actually briefly win for this particular board for like a ridiculous amount of time for the sake of time. Which I have no idea why I just managed to say weird things like that. And of course, Boo's gonna able to actually power up the generator, as you can tell. So even then though, he might as well able to actually get some capsules from this point right here. So yeah, you probably get the idea about Rainbow Dream. It's a very simple board, aside from the fact that you have to continuously try to go for the actual island hopping. So I'm pretty sure if you fully power up your generator, then you're pretty much guaranteed to get 3 capsules. So, at least as far as I'm concerned with that, as far as what Mario already has. So, but if you get like, it doesn't matter how much capsules you got. Like, if you have like 1 capsule still from the likes of the capsule machine, basically if you do manage to completely done with the power generator, basically that you get like 2 capsules instead of just 3. And if you get like 2 capsules from the capsule machines, then if you've done that, and you're probably gonna get 1. So, oh yeah, and another thing is worth noting for as well is the fact that several boards, well, in the forms of the party mode as well as the story mode, the actual board's designs are actually slightly different, mainly with the forms of in the party mode that basically it's more likely has some huge you know, the huge design when it comes to boards and stuff like that. Whilst compared to the story mode, which I'll show that off until later, that some of these boards might actually got a lot smaller, mainly due to the fact that with the actual different gameplay style, like rather than just utilizing the stars in order to win a minigame or in order to win a game, unlike the ones and how it does it in Mario Party 3 and Mario Party 4, so at least we can able to actually show that off until then. So even then though, but then again though, we'll talk more about that later on throughout the future, so... And, oh, what's this? The first battle minigame in terms of Mario Party 5? Well, it's about time to able to let that thing show up, so... Oh, really? 30 coins to begin with! Oh, jeez Louise, here we go again. But anyways, now we need to choose with those 3 minigames to pick from. So, I guess that Boo and Wario chooses the minigame on the left, but I'm gonna go for the luck-based minigame on the right, but we have to force to pick the actual unpickable minigame. So in this case, Astrological. Watch for the card that appears in the mirror, then find that card on the game board. So basically, it's the fact that you're gonna have to find the actual, the symbol that represents on the actual, you know, the mirror. So yeah, with the battle system this time around though, compared to Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, and Mario Party 4, that as far as you guys should know, that you can able to actually land on a battle game space, in order to begin a battle minigame. Because even then though, once you're able to deal with that, oh, where is it? Oh, dang it! Oh, somehow Boo is the only one managed to found that. I was quite surprised, and also at the same time I wasn't paying attention, so... Whoops. But at least on the upside is though, is the fact that we ended up on 2nd place, so at least we get some of our coins back, so... Well, most of them anyway, so how much Boo that Boo might actually get? I'm not sure. 58! Jeez Louise, man. So, anyway, as I said this before, that it functions a lot differently than the likes of how it does in the forms of the previous 3 games for sure. Well, the only noticeable difference is now is to able to actually pick, you know, 3 of the minigames that are usually heavily influenced by votes this time around, as opposed to picking one of those 2 minigames in Mario Party 4, and the actual minigame roulette thing from the likes of 2 and 3. So in this case though, we're actually going on to some sort of like a different system as far as you guys can tell. And of course, we got ourselves a coin multiplier event. and as you can see, it's ×3, as opposed to ×2, ever since any forms have been, well, let's just say from the very beginning of Mario Party, which is of course Mario Party 1, Mario Party 2, 3, and 4, that usually those games manage to able to have multipliers of 2, so if you land on the blue space, you get 6 coins, and then if you land on the red space, you take away, well, obviously 6 coins. In Mario Party 5, this time around, though, goes on beyond and above this time around, because even then, that now 9 coins is now actually a thing. So in this case, if you land on the blue space, you get 9 coins, and if you land on the red space, then obviously you lose 9 coins. So it might be a benefit for the doubt when it comes to able to giving you opportunities to get the coin star at least, but either way though, it knows what usually happens, so... Alright, so let's see if I can get myself a good roll. Oh, sweet, I got an 8. So that should able to give me my 4th star in Rainbow Dream. So, that should be worth a while. Oh yeah, talking of which, in terms of, you know, the differences between the party mode compared to the story mode boards, is that take this board for example in Rainbow Dream, that's normally on party mode, that basically this board is heavily utilized island hopping, whilst compared to on the forms of story mode, it only has 1 island to able to interact with, and I believe if I recall correctly, that in Rainbow Dream, that you can only go onto the castle island, so you can't able to go onto the electricity island, or the snow island, or the actual water fountain island. And that could be also same applies to the forms of one of those islands in, well, let's just say in Future Dream, which we'll get to that during at some point until next month, so... And it's gonna be a Kamek event again, which, sure enough, it is. So, anyways, another thing's worth noting for with the battle minigames system is the fact that, obviously, as you notice, that we've already managed to experience one of those battle minigames, the first ones actually, which is of course Astrological, and that was the minigame that no one else picked. So in this case, since that 2 players managed to pick the minigame from the left or the right, likely the 50% between the two, basically they're forced to able to play the minigame that was not picked. But if it's majority vote, then someone able to play it. So anyway, Coins Cashie. Collect coins by jumping into bricks. Careful, not all the bricks give you coins. Whoever collects the most wins. So, or most coins wins, I should say. So, yeah, Coins Cashie, a new minigame we can play around with, and in this case we actually go on to a 2D perspective. Well, usually I would say 2.5, obviously, because of the forms of almost like a 3-dimensional characters and all that stuff though. But basically, this minigame is kind of fun though, because basically it does remind me of the forms of, almost reminds me of the functionality when it comes to New Super Mario Bros. 2 for the Nintendo 3DS, but except the fact that, although it also reminds me of coin situation minigame from the likes of Super Mario 64 DS, although unlike that particular game though, is the fact that you don't utilize the touchscreen and stuff like that. So, yeah, I do like this minigame though, although I will have to admit though right away is that I feel like the actual jumps on it sometimes might be felt a bit stiff in areas, but it knows what it is for the most part, so... Alright, so I believe we're now on to the last 4 turns already, and I don't suppose if you do notice on the actual background noise you'd be hearing, just because once again those birds keeps on like whistling all the time, which I sort of respect that, especially noticeable with how the fact that they always manage to fly about, but even then, no, it doesn't bother me at all though whatsoever, so... Alright, so let's see what capsule is Boo gonna get, and he's gonna get the Wiggler capsule. Yeah, the Wiggler capsule right there. Do you remember the forms of the Magic Lamp item from the likes of Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3 and Mario Party 4? Now remember those Magic Lamp items throughout, right? Well, Wiggler capsule in this game, along with the forms of Mario Party, well, let's just say Mario Party 6 and 7, you know, they basically become more accurately the Genie version of this game. Well, to be more specifically, with Wiggler in mind. However, here's the thing though, is the fact that in order to able to get the star, if you use the actual Wiggler capsule by yourself, you have to pay, let's just say, 20 coins if you try to use it yourself, or well, obviously you will also try to able to place on the actual space, of course, but if you try to use it by yourself, you have to pay 20 coins of it, by the way, and after that, you have to pay another 20 coins if you want to go after the star. So, yes, it's a lot of busy work, especially noticeable if you really want to pay the ridiculous amount of coins if you decide to use that item. Well, best assured to you that it might actually worth it, I suppose. But either way though, it knows what it is, so... Alright, so it looks like that Wario got the Lakitu capsule, and of course he's gonna land on the same spot as Boo, so that means it's time for the duel kind of, you know, catchphrase and all that stuff though, and he only got 1 coin. He only just got a duels for 1 coin, although I get it because he hasn't got that much coins, so... Alright, so looks like they're about to be playing Bound of Music right here. So in this case though, whoever gets the most, you know, musical notes, whoever wins the minigame, so... It's that simple for the most part. Well, unless they are kind of random every time when you play the minigame and such. So, at least I was expecting to be happening, so... Anyway, so let's see how these two are doing. So it looks like, oh jeez, looks like I get the feeling that Wario might potentially win this somehow, but it really depends on it, really. So just in case that, well, we'll see what happens as soon as that minigame is finished, which as you can see, that those two have managed to finish this minigame. Although keep that in mind, sometimes you have to put up with the depth perception as well if you're trying to able to hit those blocks, so... Yep, it looks like Wario wins by 1 musical note block left, or remained, or anything else like that. As far as I've noticed something also is the fact that there are 2 different ways you can able to get a draw in that minigame, like get the same exact same amount of musical blocks, and then if you don't manage to get anything at all, basically this out of nowhere you know, this little whole cloud, or the cloud hole, managed to able to let both players manage to fell through it. And as a result, it can be a little bit more of a, well, I don't know how do I usually explain about this from the start though, honestly. But anyway. Of course, we got to see that ridiculously long cinematic scene, which is of course, you know, the Paratrooper capsule event, so... That's the thing I don't like, is the fact that sometimes that several turns might attempt to drag on a bit, especially noticeable that if you really want to get the thing going, then basically you're gonna have to sit for the specific stuff though, which, yeah, that might be, seems to be the case. Although, again, what if we get onto Mario Party 6, that, thankfully though, the game might able to actually get ourselves a bit of a steady pace. Although, unlike Mario Party, 7, that, well... You'll find out until the next, well, until next year, as I said. So I must admit that I feel incredibly bad for Boo right now, just because, well, obviously that he's probably gonna take some of his coins away. From the likes of the, you know, the spiny capsule I managed to place, so at least I did manage to land on my own capsule spot. And it looks like Mario's gonna join in with Boo and Wario, but Mario doesn't have any coins, so in this case the duel minigame is cancelled. So, yeah, nothing happened there. Alright, so once again we have to go for this. Oh jeez, 15! Oh man, this is gonna be outrageous in any moment's notice. Especially noticeable about the fact that, wow, again, but if you're trying to able to see that Paratrooper capsule event, then it probably wastes your time for able to actually sit and watch for that specific stuff to happen. Oh jeez. Yeah, just take my coins. Yeah, just take my coins. I don't need it, honestly. Especially noticeable that I'm still in the lead for the actual, not only for, you know, the minigame star, of course, but also the coin star as well. So, yeah, I should be fine. I should be fine indeed. Alright, the next minigame we have here is Chimp Chase. I think this is a new minigame we are playing, which, if I recall correctly, yes it is. So, catch the little Yukikis and return them to the same colored adult Yukiki. Whoever catches the most wins. So basically it's the fact that whenever you're able to, like, for instance, if you're trying to carry the brown Yukiki, that I did actually pronounce that this time around, so at least I did manage to, thankfully, did my massive research on it. So in this case, though, is the fact that if you're trying to grab, you know, the blue Yukiki, you have to take it to the forms of the correct spotting, same colored adult Yukiki, because that actually counts as a point. However, though, eventually, at some point or another, that we might able to come across into the golden Yukikis. And that way, it doesn't matter which Yukiki you're gonna able to deliver for. So in this case, you get 3 points if you manage to able to deliver on any other colored adult Yukikis. So it doesn't really matter. In this case, though, I somehow went by 3 points from Wario, as you can see. So that was kind of almost felt slightly closer than that. So yeah, I appreciate about that. Whew. I have no idea what I'm truly saying for this point, guys, because even then, though, that, again, I will promise you guys, I will, try to discuss upon, oh, looks like Boo, he's, for whatever reason, he's going to use his own, regular capsule, despite the fact that he doesn't have enough coins to be able to purchase the star. That seems kind of lame of you. Especially that you just wasted it all. So what's the point of using that until now? Although, it could imagine if how the fact that if we don't see the actual too much emphasis on, you know, paratrooper events and stuff like that, then I totally respect that, but I have no words to say. And of course, we're gonna go for a chance time event, so please don't be involved. Okay, so we have Mario is involved, and who else is gonna be involved? And Boo's gonna get involved in this as well, so good thing I did not get involved in this at all. And the event was, trading coins. So, I'm pretty sure that Boo might be able to get screwed. Yep, he's got screwed. Oh, feel so sorry for you, Boo, after what you've been through. Even though, despite the fact that I somehow managed to crush you from the likes of, you know, trying to steal your star from the chain jump of mine. But, it knows what it usually happens to be. Alright, so it looks like Wario's gonna place the Lakitu capsule space, right where the lily pad was. So, I can expect what he was trying to do for the sake of time. And he has nothing left. So it feels like I'm pretty much dominated for the sake of this board, so, yeah, I'm quite surprised, honestly. Despite the fact that I'm still not a big fan of island hopping, but thankfully this board is a little bit more tolerable when it comes to able to utilizing the island hopping. But then again, though, what if we get onto Mario Party 7? That's I'm sure that Piccolo's will able to talk more about that until 2022. That we keep on saying things a lot, just because, well, I just want to keep you guys any reminders out there. For those of you who really want to see Mario Party 7 in action, then more power to it. So, alright, so it looks like Mario is going to be able to steal the chain jump capsule from the likes of Wario, because he landed on the Lakitu event. So, I'm guessing the reason why he's probably... Although, I'm not exactly sure if he's going to use it just yet, though. Although, I'm pretty sure in order to be able to use it yourself, is that you're going to have to pay like 15 coins or somewhat, so... Alright, Quilt for Speed. I think this is another new minigame we can play through, so in this case, is it? Yes, it is. So, guide a vehicle to the finish line. To move, stop the roulette wheel on the direction you need to go. So basically, in a team of 1 has to deal with the forms of only 1 roulette wheel, whilst in a team of 3, which is the team I'm on right now, has to deal with the forms of 3 roulette wheels. So, yeah, that should be a lot of busy work to deal with here. So, and of course I'm gonna go last. So in this case, though, let's see if how Boo and Mario are dealing with for the sake of time. So, oh jeez, we actually got to a pretty mediocre start, especially noticeable that some of these computer players, like my teammates, were not able to actually expect what they're about to be doing properly. But yeah, I'm quite surprised that we've almost nearly at the end in terms of 1 versus 3 minigame well, for the sake of those minigames lists, because either way though, that I was pretty much expected that, dang it, okay, we still got enough time to able to you know, just trying to make it for the sake of time, for the sake of, well, trying to win this, and it looks like Wario keeps on going left or right, you name it. And of course, we actually did win, so take that. So yeah, everything else might actually all comes in together for the most part, so yeah, to be expected by this point. So anyways though, so I'm presuming we're now on to the last 2 turns or something like that. I suppose I haven't really double checked on it, haven't I? Yeah, the last 2 turns. So, in fact, the actual font looks very similar to Mario Party 4, doesn't it? Although, except the fact that, well, the actual resolution textures on several fonts might be a bit downgraded compared to Mario Party 4 was, but that might be still a little bit of a nitpicking side of things, so whatever. Alright, so it looks like Boo, he's gonna able to choose on these little rainbow bridges, and he's gonna go onto the right, and he pretty much goes all the way back to the very beginning. So, I guess that's something, alright? And I believe you get like 15 coins if you manage to able to hop onto this rainbow bridge, so... Alright, so Wario gets a 9, and sadly he can't make it through, so in this case though he has to take... Oh, dang it, I think I get the feeling that he's gonna steal coins to me, so... I think I'm much well able to actually predict that he's probably gonna steal some coins to me, because obviously I'm in first. What?! Why would you steal it from Mario?! Ah, jeez, Wario, you're dumb. You're dumb. Why won't you able to steal it from me? Like, why would you steal coins to Mario? What does Mario ever do to you? Oh, I get it, because you want to get some vengeance back on him, huh? Even though after the events of Super Mario Land 2, perhaps? Or maybe because of rivalry and stuff. That's as far as I'm guessing correctly. But anyway, that was pretty much unexpected, but anyway, yeah, I'm as well able to... let's check on the map. Actually, I'm as well able to take a, to another island right there. I'm not exactly sure if I was gonna make my way to, the next star, but, I will try, assuming if I need to get ourselves a pretty good, you know, dice roll and stuff, so... Meanwhile, Mario's gonna able to actually hop into the rainbow bridges and such, so... Let's see what bridge he's gonna go for. He's gonna go onto the left. And basically, he's gonna go straight down to the first island, just like Boo. So, even then though, and he also gets 15 coins as well. So, kudos to them. Alright, once again, 4-player minigames again. So, to be expected by this point, we're able to play too much emphasis on 4-player minigames. Fish sticks. I think it's another one of those new minigames we can play through, so, yeah, I think it's one of those newer ones. So, catch Cheep Cheeps as they nibble on fishing lanes, or fishing lines. When the pole dips, grab it, whoever grabs or gets the most points wins. So, whenever you see the actual fishing rod, or the fishing line manage to nibble a bit, basically it's your chance to able to actually get one of those Cheep Cheeps. Or there are rare occasions where you come across into golden variations of them, so... I'm not too crazy with this one though, mainly it's because of my strict timing window and all that stuff though. I think that was my only nitpicking I have with this minigame. But apart from those side things though, it's just that I found this one to be okay. But aside from the fact that sometimes these computer players get very, very lucky with all these, you know, getting Cheep Cheeps like, you know, Mario got the golden one. So, in this case though, oh jeez, he got another one again! How lucky Red Plumber you are. Although, let's be fair here, we'll let him win that. So, I guess I must have felt incredibly bad for, you know, for letting, you know, just anything else like that. I have no idea. I do apologize if my commentary gets a little bit slightly, iffy at points, but, as I promised, that until next weekend, I will able to mention more about the forms of, you know, some new things in particular, so... Alright, so it looks like Boo, he's gonna place his, chain jump capsule all the way to almost around the full circle, almost. Well, usually right next to those, you know, one blue space and the red space in particular, so I guess that's kind of understandable. So, yeah, there's not much else to say in terms of Rainbow Dream. Like, I already mentioned about this before, I found this board to be alright. Like, not the best board I actually went through, but aesthetically speaking, it does look nice though. And of course, Wario and Boo are once again duel against each other. And, well, they're about to be bet on 10 coins. Well, usually for both Boo and Wario. And, let's see what mini games are they going to be playing through. So, in this case, we have Countdown Pound. Oh, I remember this one. Despite the fact that I wasn't going to be involved playing this, though. So, I'll just let the computer players do it right there. So, I might be alright with this. So, whoever wins this will able to get 20 coins, so I have no idea just yet. Well, assuming if they're able to try to get, like, the closest time to 0 seconds if possible, so... And the winner of this is Wario. Because Boo managed to able to do this slightly too earlier than, Wario's. So sure enough, Wario was able to actually get, you know, 20 coins in total. So, and then also another thing as well is the fact that, usually on my own time, I'm actually able to play a bit of, Mario Tennis Aces for a bit. And, I was literally almost done with the adventure mode. Like, the only point I've actually got into is probably without a doubt the hardest, world in the game, which appears to be Inferno Island. And the only point I've actually got into is that obviously face off against with Boom Boom, and I seriously got my butt kicked. So yeah, it knows what it is. Okay, whatever. I don't know how much coins are Mars able to be taken. So how much was it? Oh, it's only 7. Gee, no wonder why I managed to get the ridiculous amount of button mashing for this point today. Especially noticeable that I'm pretty much good with those specific stuff. What's even weirder is the fact that, usually relatively speaking, whenever when Chain Chomp shows up, usually Wario somehow disappears for some reason. Although I'm guessing it's mainly because they need to get enough room for able to actually let those characters show up or somewhat, which I absolutely have no idea. And of course Wario got himself the mushroom, despite the fact this is the final turn, so unfortunately for you, Wario, I don't suppose you're not going to use that mushroom, so sorry about that. And oh boy, we got ourselves a DK space, even though I was literally 1 space away from the start, but that's fine. Hello DK again, let's see what event is it going to be this time for you. It appears to be DK Roulette, so I wonder how I can able to actually beat him though. Oh, 9, I think it's going to be impossible. Nope. It is definitely impossible. But oh well. At least I tried. At least I tried for that point. Even though, unlike Boo, that he managed to got that in a pretty good dice roll. But, not for me though, anyway. Which, I swear to God, is a lot harder than it looks for able to actually get even slightly luckier for able to try to get, you know, the highest dice roll as I could. But anyway though, so it looks like Mario's gonna take away 5 coins due to Koopa Bank space, so it knows what it is. Although, I'm pretty sure I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this will be the final time we're gonna be seeing a Koopa Bank in the entire Mario Party games at this point, which might be seems kind of sad, but either way though, it knows what it is, so... Alright, dodge bomb to end things off. So in this case though, we've already played this before, so yeah, there's not much else to say here. If I had to comment on one thing though, that this obviously reminds me of some... What the heck?! Wow, that ended off within like 1 second. How lame was that? Oh, that's super. Especially noticeable, I somehow get rid of Boo, and then Wario and Mario got exploded to each other, and then I'm the only one managed to able to have no harms of it whatsoever. That's just... That was fast. Okay, anyway, so that's pretty much about it in terms of Rainbow Dream. So, yeah, not much else to say about it. So, let's see. Bonus stars, obviously the minigame star. Obviously, I pretty much, you know, conquered everything in terms of minigames department. So, yeah, at least I still managed to got that. Even though some minigames exceptions, which again, we'll talk more about that in the future. So anyways, coin star. Whoever gets this, obviously me, because I actually hold up the ridiculous amount of coins I've been holding for the whole way through. And as far as Happening Star is concerned, I absolutely have no idea. So in this case, whoever gets this. Oh, 2 Happening Stars. Whoever gets those. Boo and Mario. That's a good thing they managed to land on that happening space on the very top of the 3rd island, right there. So, obviously I'm the winner on the forms of Rainbow Dream, of course. So, yay, my 2nd victory in Mario Party 5 out of 7 boards so far. So, huzzah for mighty victoryness, or something like that. Do apologize for the actual tongue twisting in the end, folks, there. I do apologize for that. But anyways, let's have a look at the results here. Dang, it looks like that Boo almost trying to catch up to me with the actual minigame star. If you can imagine if he wins like 6 minigames in a row, or by himself, he could have able to actually beat me by 1 coin. Imagine that. But anyways though, Coin Star, well, I pretty much gather a lot of coins, like 123 coins to be more specific, and sure enough, that Boo and Mario managed to both land on 3 happening spaces, so yeah, it seems kind of an interesting result there. And of course I land on 2 DK spaces and only 1 Bowser space by Wario of all things, so yeah, I guess that's pretty much as far as we can say about it. So I suppose, join me next weekend for more of Let's Play of Mario Party 5. It's now we're going to be hit on to probably is my favorite board in the entire game, which appears to be Pirate's Dream. So I'll see you guys next Saturday. Later, fellas.